All of them are quite by patients of like over commenting. Now, subscribe to the channel. Now, State of Nation address in the Muya, the Papa, the battle between Afenyo Markin and Dr. Anasi, the young president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now, in same order to due to debt, be na ECG Ghana for ECG for car now, what they says cano millions of cities. No want to mean to Mahama to me, Abitua, can be no. And Afenyo Markin to me question no say, one I say, nominal one na can don't pay. Na say skebi no na wo buy me no we won say why you put to do maybe an answer bibia abemaska ba na ntiskana wotama wokutua sa debt no nya fi na no na Afenyo Markin na question John Dramani Mahama questions ye be ko na akuti ne nsema wo de tuya o chese skana wo de tia no na nado ska o yire ho obo ho ban a wo de to no na Mahama so etimi abenya bia o so etete kan ti se obeya offer credit mo se beya on condemn nado da no kwakra because ohwe nyama na nado aya ono so aya waya de nti won hwe won fa ne de nti ne moyenkone nkuti nyama ya course bi Afenyo Markin and John Dramani Mahama.
Opportunity to congratulate you and wish you well. Second, Mr. President, on the 21st of February 2013, you notably said, quote, Mr. Speaker, the meat is now down to the bones. This was on the occasion of your address to Parliament. And you said that the meat is now down to the bones. This was at the time, Mr. President, that you were President of Ghana. And you had served as chair of the economic management team of your own government. Yet, when you came to this house, you lamented on the same state of the economy that you had presided and re-echoed the point that we are left with just the bones. Mr. Speaker, the President again says that he has delivered less ministers. But it is clear that his strategy is, if less, more divide. You have appointed few ministers, but more and more and more presidential staffers and more committees. Again, honorable members, please. The President again came to this house with a familiar story, the usual lamentations. He packaged it in a language as though we have a new beginning. Mr. Speaker, if the President has any concerns, his duty is to fix it. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency, the President has announced to us a cabinet of 19 with only 2 women. The of the founder of this NDC, Senator Rollins, is missing. Ajaladi is missing. Helen Inkosu is missing. Where are the women in this government? The vice president.
Honorable members, please, order.
Is part of the government, and we are seeing only 2 women in cabinet, and the vice president is sitting there. In percentage terms, we have only 10% of women in cabinet. Mr. Speaker, the president again, as part of his lamentations, is telling the nation that through some arrangements, they have been able to do 2 things. Pay domestic bonds that matured, and then also they have successfully done some financial engineering to pay some energy sector debts to keep our lights on. My question is, Mr. Speaker, has the president any budget? This is the budget he inherited, the revenues he inherited that he has used for this purpose. The same government is condemning. Mr. Speaker, he has today told us that we have 2.2 million Ghanaians unemployed. But what he has forgotten, that in his administration, in less than 100 days, all we know is sack them, dismiss her. Mr. Speaker, on the streets of Accra today, the youth of the country are saying that Mahama Baku termination membrane. Mr. Speaker, we are happy to hear from the president that he is going to launch the Nkokonkitingkiting. We are happy to hear this, but we are curious because only yesterday we heard of a confirm. Mr. Speaker, the president talked about the school feeding program, and in his submission on the school feeding program and the status of it, he said that they are now feeding the children well. What he didn't say was that at the time he assumed office, the previous government had paid every single one of the caterers. What he failed to tell Ghanaians was that President John Adekun Kufuor, who is seated in this chamber, was the one who initiated the school feeding program. He did not acknowledge it. Mr. Speaker, what are we seeing in this government? The same old stock. There's nothing new.